I have been listening. If you can start it here if you like. I've been listening. To
Hold on, ready? And here.
I've been listening to a shitload of
and
Wesley Willis.
Go.
I've been listening
Now. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry. All right, go ahead.
Someone broke Old Head. He's stuck. Yeah. We're on fucking
all right.
customer support all night.
As you were.
Yeah. I've been listening to a lot of Wesley Willis. And
That is not what I expected you to say when you said you were listening to something.
I can't help it. I can't help it. It's shit. I'm addicted. I'm addicted to that same keyboard. Like,
rock over London, rock on Chicago, Burger King.
Wheaties.
It's your way right away.
Champions.
I told you I saw him in concert, right?
Oh, it's fucking rad.
And it was just him and his keyboard. This was in Austin in God, maybe the late '90s. I just remember that he played some he played some of the hits, but he kept doing songs that were like this song called "Suck a Llama's Dick."
Yeah. It's what, suck a caribou's ass.
Yeah.
Suck a caribou's ass. Suck a male camel's dick.
And if you notice, like he did have, rest in peace. He passed away.
Yeah.
Look up Wesley Willis if you want to know who we're talking about. He had different presets that he would do for different songs, but sometimes in live he would hit the wrong one and he would stop and be like, "That was just a rock and roll test," and then he would, and then he would go to the right one. But
I love it. Yeah.
And then he started a whole ass band. Have you heard the Wesley Willis experience? Is it Wesley Willis Experience or something like that?
It's Wesley Willis Fiasco.
Yeah.
It's fucking great. Honestly, it's so unique and authentic.
Yeah.
It's just pure passion.
Yeah.
You know? And once you've like studied the lore a little bit, it's like you get like a real look into his life. I mean, he had chronic schizophrenia. He wrote a lot of music about having his demons.
Did art as well.
Did art, did all his own artwork. And he had a really good, like, sensitive perspective.
Yeah. The weird thing about my story with him is that I actually heard about him several years before I ever, like, actually heard his music. And that's because Henry Rollins talked about him when I went to go see a Henry Rollins spoken word concert in, like, 95, I think it was. And he told this whole thing about discovering Wesley Willis, and we were all like, we got to check that guy out. But of course, this was the age of not the internet yet, there was the internet, but I didn't have the internet, and nobody I knew had the internet. But so I didn't hear him until years later, and I finally was like, this is that guy that Rollins was talking about.
Yeah.
Definitely not Coworker music, Wesley Willis. If somebody brings up Wesley Willis, I'm going to be like, okay, this person's quite interesting.
Yeah.
Why are you bringing up Wesley Willis? Especially as we get further and further away from that era. I think people, I don't know. I feel like his kind of stuff is like, it's tied to a specific time. And I think if you flash forward 10, 20 years from now, I think the audience will be even smaller, or barely anybody talks about Wesley Willis.
See, it's interesting. I think he was kind of ahead of his time.
So are you saying that we need to do a Wesley Willis ranking now?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Because we need to really like look into like his discography. So he's got a lot of albums, and do we stick to solo albums or do we include the Fiasco?
Oh, we include the Fiasco, 100%.
Wesley Willis.
Holy shit. Between 94 and 2003, he put out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
I love how in the wiki, if you guys look on the video, you see this long ass list, but then at the very top of it, it says partial discography.
Yeah. I love this description they've put in the song structure and themes. Where is it? That song structure and themes. Hellride was the term used by Willis to describe his encounters with quote-unquote demons, delusions brought on by schizophrenia, which occurred mainly on the CTA bus lines in Chicago. According to Willis, his demons were trying to ruin his harmony joy music, or joyrides. Every song ends with Willis saying the phrase, "Rock over London, rock on Chicago," plus a commercial tagline such as Wheaties, Breakfast of Champions, or Ford, "Quality is job one." The Wesley Willis fiasco songs were punk rock songs with Willis howling his obscene, absurd rants as lyrics. The band recorded 3 cover songs, including Thin Lizzy's Jailbreak, though the band only released 1 album. But I love this. As a solo artist, Willis filled his albums with funny, bizarre, tense, and often obscene statements about crime, fast food, cultural trends, bus routes, violent confrontations with superheroes, musicians, especially those whom Willis opened for, and commands for his demons to engage in bestiality. In the Daddy of Rock and Roll, Willis explained that these songs would gross out the demons enough to make them leave him alone. That's such an interesting angle.
He had a plan.
Yelling about. But I just love whenever you get, like, every now and again he'll like change whether or not it's in a major or a minor key, or it's like faster or slower, but you can tell. Batman got on my nerves. He was running me amok. He really killed me, calling me a bum. He was being such a jagoff. I whooped Batman's ass. I whooped Batman's.
There is an important thing here written about him too that I've thought many times. This one writer wrote that he suspected that the audience may have laughed at him rather than with him, and felt his condition made critical judgment and listening challenging. I went through a period, like after I saw him live, I thought he was a funny person, and when I was in this crowded club of people watching him, I got the impression that more than half of them just were laughing at him. And I'm just like, that's not what's funny about this, but okay. But I mean, I might be wrong, but I really got that feeling that there's a lot of people that like just, it's a different kind of laughing, I guess. I just thought he was hilarious. I just felt like he was a guy that had a lot of weird shit going on in his head, and he worked it out into this stuff that was funny. And I don't know. I liked it anyway.
I like it too, because the thing is like, I really appreciate artists who are completely authentic. And like this. I mean, it's not like a fucking Beethoven concerto, is it?
No.
But that's not the point. The point is, the guy is, like, no one else can do Wesley Willis without looking like a Wesley Willis tryhard. You know? But Wesley Willis was just like, well, I have these tools at my disposal. I have a keyboard with preset songs, and a notepad and pen, and he just fucking went to town on it. That's something about like
making shit work for you, and sometimes it's successful and sometimes it's not. But I mean, it's just like because I'm sure there's plenty of other artists out there that have done similar things that didn't get the same exposure. But I don't know. I admire that kind of thing.
Me too.
But yeah. I like that's a nice beginning to this, because it's very unrelated, but it's a really good example of a musical conversation. What the hell is going on here with my iPad?
I thought it would be a good way to kick things off, even if it isn't related to necessarily what we're talking about.
Well, I think that it draws a line immediately, because like everybody, welcome. This is a CNR sidebar. Cranked and Ranked is what our show normally is, where we rank band discographies, and then occasionally we do what's called a CNR sidebar, which is where we talk about something complete. You know, it's usually music related, but it's not a ranking. It's not an album review. Well, I guess we could do that sometimes, but it's just, you know, whatever we've decided we want to talk about. And in this case, we're bringing up a term that I've seen go around a lot over the past, I don't know, year or two maybe. But it's now getting more exposure and more in other publications and things online, and that's the term coworker music.
Yeah.
In some cases, people, coworker metal. I see a lot of that in the metal world, but we're talking about coworker music in general because it doesn't necessarily just include metal. But what I was going to say is that the conversation we were just having, that's not a conversation that you have with a quote unquote regular coworker. And really, like, I feel like there's so many things we have to define before we get into this conversation, because like everyone that works together, you're all coworkers, yes. But if I had met Eddie at work, he would completely surpass that coworker status, because I would be able to have conversations with him like that. Because, and this is really only referring to music, because I'm pretty sure for people who are like really into movies and film and cinema and filmmaking, there's probably coworker movies. But it's in this particular case, it's because we're both completely nerdy about music and it's our passion. So that's kind of what people like us run into these people that are coworkers, but there's like a major disconnect between who we are in the subject we're talking about and who they are in the subject they're talking about. And like a really good example, like whenever I hear the term coworker music, I think about this specific thing that happened to me several times throughout my life of working in like offices and stuff.
Yeah.
A similar version of what I'm about to explain happened at least a half dozen times throughout my life. And it would always go a little bit something like this. I come in wearing a metal t-shirt or something like that. Usually of a band that they don't know who it is, because they're going to be like, what does that say? Kind of thing. Like, it says cattle decapitation. And then as soon as this quote unquote coworker gets that link to like, oh, he likes metal, their first question to me is always something to the effect of, have you heard that banjo cover of Slayer? They're always asking me immediately if I heard some other version of a metal song that isn't metal. Have you heard that lady on violin cover Pantera or whatever? And I was just like, yeah, but I'm going to go listen to the real Slayer and Pantera. Like, I don't know why that's the thing they come up with. Probably because that's a way for them to like have metal in their lives when they don't really like it. They're like, we heard this lounge cover of this one song, and I'm all like, well, good for you. Go listen to the real fucking song. Like, But so many times that was the conversation. The immediate thing they bring up is some sort of weird cover version of a metal song, and I'd be like, why is that the connection there? I don't know. But those are coworkers. Those are coworkers, quote unquote coworkers that we're talking about. But I don't know. I don't know if I did that. Did I? You jump in here.
You're making a good point. The thing is, I'm puzzled slightly by the term coworker music, because there appears to be two subsets of people who define coworker music as a very different thing.
Yes.
I've seen people and fans refer to it as, safe, generic, highly mainstream pop or pop rock, often played in retail environments or offices or workplace environments. However, I've also seen an argument for kind of shittily made but charming, nonetheless, music made by your coworker. And this is a different. I don't know if you've seen that.
I have seen.
Forced to embrace.
Yes.
Everything stolen, ever being choked until our last breath. This is the place you call home. I mean, I love that people. I love that people are out there doing it, even if the way they're presenting themselves is kind of overtly cringe in the first place.
You have opened up a totally different facet of this conversation now.
Yeah.
Because like I was going with the two different people are the people that understand the difference between people like us and just regular coworkers and the music that they enjoy. But there's also those people that have now just started throwing around that term to mean I don't like this band, which is shitty. You're an asshole. We're leaving the assholes out of the equation because that's not that the phenomenon of the asshole is nothing new and nothing we have to discuss. The metal community, the metal community is loaded with them. And a lot of communities are loaded with them, and we don't give them the time. So we're not using the word coworker music to mean it's bad necessarily. Some of it is, though. But you now bring that up now. Now that I'm thinking about it, I never really got that butthurt about, like, I was always in bands. And then as soon as somebody that I worked with knew I was in a band, they would say like, well, oh, when are you playing next? And of course I would be like, well, we're playing next Thursday at this place. And they'd be like, oh yeah, Thursdays I can't really go out, man. And then like, a little bit later I'd be like, hey, we got a show coming up this Saturday night. Oh, Saturdays. Yeah, not really. So like coworkers never, there's been, I think I remember the last like office gig that I had. I think 2 of my coworkers came out to see my band one time. But here's the thing. A lot of others who went out of their way to ask me, what's your band like? When are you playing? And then didn't fucking actually care. That didn't bother me because on the other end of the coin, when I have met people who are in bands and they ask me to come see their band, and I go see their band, it is never good. And then you have to face your coworker. There's been a few instances. There's a guy I used to work with who was in a band, and his band was fantastic. I've known some coworkers who were in great bands, but a lot of times you go see them and you're just like, oh. And it's almost like they're actually making coworker music. So the other coworkers who don't normally listen to music that much, they're the ones that go and they're like, did you see he was really rocking? Anyway, God, this is going to be an interesting conversation because that's a whole different level of it. I was talking about coworker music as in the bands, and you said that it's defined as popular music that you hear like in department stores or whatever, but I don't think that all of that can be included because like
no, for sure,
you can't call Michael Jackson coworker music because everybody likes Michael Jackson. Not everybody. I know there's probably 1 or 2 of you that are just like, I don't fucking like that. But anyway. But we'll get more into that as the conversation goes along. But I realized that I fucked up here real quick because I'm supposed to read a couple emails. One of them is related to this episode. But before we get there, it's another an unrelated email, but it involves you a little bit. Here, it always involves you, but in this particular case, it also shows me that we need to update. We'll get to it. I'll get to it. This email is from Sage, and she sent me an email that says Eddie's band stole my name. That's the first off. You're in the clear. Because Sage is no more.
No.
Not you, Sage, but
no.
Eddie's Sage is no more.
Yeah.
So no need to get litigious or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it says, so this is awkward. My name is Sage, and I also do music as Sage. So I'm expecting either a cease and desist or a tour offer from Eddie. And then it says, I fucking love your podcast, though, and I'm sure you're thrilled to know there's another female fan out there. I want to talk about a few things. I'm dying to know where Skeletor ranks on your Ghost list, as it has quickly become one of my all-time favorite albums and easily takes the top spot for me. We can stop there. I like this because a lot of people would consider Ghost coworker music.
Yep. Yeah.
Which I like them. So that's another thing. Coworker music can be a thing that dudes like us also enjoy, but
Yep.
it's like the accessible band in the genre for these people to go to who don't
Yeah.
really listen to much music aside from that. My opinion on Skeleton is it is actually my bottom Ghost album. It is the first Ghost album that I'm just like, it's fine. It goes underneath all of the other Ghost albums for me. Maybe it'll grow on me over time, but it does not have standout tracks for me. It has some stuff that just is way too like samey, where I'm just kind of like, well, he's done this before. He's done things like this before, and so it's kind of a bummer. But I do like it. Have you heard Skeleton? And what did you think about it?
I've heard songs from it a while ago when it came out, but I'm saving up my thoughts really for the next old friends new shit.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're
episode
right.
We do,
Yeah,
because we every couple years now we do an episode where we cover albums that have come out since we did their ranking, and those are usually really fun.
Yeah. Well, okay. So no more to that. Move on to the next part. Okay. Well, then she also recommends a band called Creeper. Says their latest album is their second act of their 80s glam-inspired rock opera about horny vampires who go around fucking and killing. I can definitely see Eddie loving it, especially.
I've heard about Creeper. I need to do a Creeper deep dive.
Okay.
Yeah.
It says, I would fucking die if you ranked Lordi, Lordi. I don't know much about Lordi.
Oh, dude.
They are so cheesy and fun, and I feel like I'm the only person who listens to them sometimes.
Eurovision. All those years ago.
Oh, is it? Is that what?
Yeah.
They were in the Eurovision Song Contest?
They did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. Let me look that up. Where's it? Lordi.
Lordi.
Eurovision. Yep. Hard Rock Hallelujah is a song by the Finnish rock band Lordi. It represented Finland in the Eurovision Song Contest in 2006.
Nice.
Yeah.
We'll have to put Lordi on the list. I don't know anything about them. And it says, keep doing what you're doing. I've fallen back in love with some old favorites because of you two and gotten into bands or albums I never thought I would. Tony Martin, Black Sabbath would have forever stayed a mystery to me without your podcast. Much love. Sage, the self-proclaimed queen of bitch punk. And then it says, any Nickelback rank, also Nickelback ranking when? That's on the list.
Down. I'm down. That is another band that could be in the
Coworker music
conversation.
Yes, Nickelback. I would probably put Nickelback. Even though like I'm not a big hater of Nickelback, like a lot of people are. I'm not into them, but I don't think that they're fucking terrible. But they do.
I never understood the hate. Honestly,
they do fall into that category. Anyway, thanks Sage for the email. And she does her own music. So if you go to what is it? I think it's Sage_Screams. Yes, Sage_Screams on Instagram, and
cool.
She has like her own band, and I don't know if I was like scanning through some of her posts, and I'm pretty sure that her band opened for Paramore, and I was like, wow, all right, that's pretty fucking great. I'm not even a Paramore fan. Also, probably Coworker music right there. I
had a huge crush on Hayley Williams growing up.
Wow, I'm not for me at all. But I wanted to do this because we actually got, because last time, we talked about what we were going to be talking about on this, and I said if anybody wants to send an email and give their 2 cents on Coworker music, then it can help get the conversation going. And we got a whopping 1 email from Otis, and who is known on the internets as Weed Nose.
Nice.
And he said, greetings, Mr. Head and Mr. Sparxx. Firstly, thanks for opening the floor up about the Coworker music discussion, because it's not something I've thought a ton about in the past. This may be a weird pick, and it may be because I'm studying music at university right now, so I know a few people like this, but when I think of Coworker music, my mind goes to a band like Dream Theater or some adjacent band. I don't really agree with that, because you have to be a little bit too into certain music to get into Dream Theater.
Yeah, that's... I get where he's come from, but at the same time, it's like that's like a layer deeper than a coworker.
I think
That's
so
like
too.
that's a coworker who's really into Dream Theater and
Yeah.
only likes Dream Theater.
Yeah, that, it says
So,
they are incredibly talented beyond technical musicians, but every time I hear a song by them, I feel bad because I think to myself, it's very complicated and impressive music, but it's just not very good or interesting in my opinion. And every new song I hear by them just sounds like the same to me. The kind of band that is somehow so varied yet so samey and tiresome, focusing on trying to, to impress listeners with technicality as opposed to writing a good song, again, in my opinion. Thanks for the podcast. It's okay. Anyway, and yeah, so he doesn't like Dream Theater, which I don't really either. We did a ranking
that's
on them,
okay.
and there's some things I like about them, but so Coworker music for me, and the discussion I'm really interested in is not just because I think that like Coworker music might be feel different in different countries, and I don't just mean like the U.S. and the U.K. Or England and America and the United States. I mean also like we have people that listen like in Germany or France or whatever. What would the Coworker music be over there? Because I'm pretty sure Nickelback's probably not Coworker music in France. Or maybe there's their own there's their own version of something like that. But whenever I think of Coworker music and I try to think of a band, the band that comes to mind is a band that I first heard around 2013, maybe.
can I guess?
Yeah.
Is it Imagine Dragons?
No, but that is.
Okay.
But they're on the list. They're on my list. But my son was listening. My son was fucking 3 at that point or something, 3 or 4. Already getting into music, but he's on YouTube and he's just listening to music. His I almost feel like aside from me playing him like Motley Crue and all this stuff he got into, like the old people music, the newer music he was into started with those artists that were doing Five Nights at Freddy's related songs.
Yeah. Are you going to say Living Tombstone?
No. So he's listening to all of these songs like that. And then I start hearing him listen to this, what sounds like a rock band. And I'm listening to these songs and I'm all like, this is interesting because it's like if you took everything that was supposed to be rock music and you watered it down to where it would just be for children. I literally thought this was a rock band for children because it just sounded so like all of the danger and interesting aspects of rock music are all stripped away, and it is just like white bread and with mayo on it for rock music. And the band is called Skillet. And,
yeah.
And I looked them up and I went, oh, they're not a children's rock band. Well, their music fucking sounds like it. So that's and then I got like later on I figured out that adults are into Skillet, and I went, okay, you are people who don't listen to that much music, but that's like a band that's like it's really easy to just put that on and be like, yeah, I feel what they're saying. What are they saying? Something. And it's like you don't really have to sacrifice anything. There's no figuring out, how to play a song or what a song's about. It is just the most unimaginative, bland rock music I've ever heard in my life. Like people should be talking shit about Skillet, not Nickelback, because Nickelback at least has some tunes. I didn't
realize that Skillet had been going on since 1996. I've just looked this up.
You'd think they'd be better by now. Jesus Christ.
He's good. Damn. We need a sound bite we need a sound on the soundboard for when you're going off.
Yeah.
We need like an air raid siren.
It's just going to be like a...
God damn it, baby, no, I ain't lying to you. I'm only going to tell you one time.
That's
We need to make some sort of alert sound, like it's like,
yeah.
Whenever one of us is like going off on something,
yeah.
we need like a word,
yeah,
like rant level critical.
But And then, but there's Imagine Dragons is the same kind of band where when I heard them, I went, this is so like bland, but yet just catchy enough to become a hit. And I was just like, you know, but those are that's another band that like my kid was into when he was very young. And then if you ask him about that band now, he'd be like, fuck no, because he's now a teenager. And so it's like, and I would also put in there all the hey ho stomp clap music of around 2010.
Yep, and I've got a tangent for this because
okay,
there is stomp clap for I'm a man type guys, and it's literally
this fucking. Have you heard the atrocity that is the American song for the World Cup done by Jelly Roll? Is Coworker music 100 fucking % everything that dude does is Coworker music.
I have a question.
Yes.
All right. Does it contain a passage that sounds a little something like this? Boom. Woo! Boom.
So you're saying like every Black Keys song?
I'm saying
also
every
Coworker
car
music.
Commercial since 2010.
Yeah. So yes, it does sound pretty much like that. But that's supposed to be the song that represents the United States in the World Cup. Like, what a fucking joke this country has become. We are an absolute fucking joke. Anyway, so, hey ho, stomp, clap music. That stuff is pretty, yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Coldplay. Coldplay started off as a very, I actually liked the first couple Coldplay albums, got burnt out on them really quick, but now it's like, Coldplay started, for me, Coldplay, you could blame Radiohead, but I won't blame Radiohead because they're too good of a band. But Coldplay ushered in this thing that doesn't just exist in like sort of alternative soft rock, but also has made its way to like R&B and other stuff too. And I refer to it as the falsetto dude music. So like, you're in the grocery store and everything is like, fucking Wicked Game. It's fucking Chris Isaac's fault. No, Wicked Game is a fucking badass song. Fuck that. But like everything now is like falsetto guy music. And oh my God. So I guess you are right. You hear it in the grocery store or in the department store. I literally just started listing bands on here that, Sublime. Sublime for me is an older band, because they're from the 90s, obviously, but they quickly turned into this band that is very Coworker music. I don't know. It's like a default correct band setting for people to land on. Yeah, but also like I'm so fucking and I get so annoyed by that band. And I liked them at first because I had their first album, I think it was called. Which I think it may have been their first or second. I think it was called 40 Ounces to Freedom, which had a lot of ska and stuff like that on it. And then their self-titled album, that was one of those moments where I was just like, wait, you fucking people are into this? Into like white guy culturally appropriating other people's music. Like, I guess like white people love that. They love music of other cultures and races. As long as white people are doing it, we're good. We love it.
Fucking colonizing music now,
yeah,
for Christ's
fuck
sake.
you. We should just call this the woke episode, because it's just like
colonizer music.
I have a band. I have a question though.
Okay.
Foo Fighters?
Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it, and it's not that they're bad, but they are the default setting. My dad has a guitar. Oh, what's his favorite band? Foo Fighters.
Yeah,
figures. Like know.
But you bring up an important point. Like, I'm talking shit about some of these artists because I also don't like them. But I am aware that there's music that I listen to. I don't love Foo Fighters, but but the first few albums I think are really good. But I could agree that it would fall into the Coworker music category. But same thing, Ghost is one of them. I'm trying to think of other really any like bands that have shirts that are very popular at Walmart. So AC/DC could be considered Coworker music, but it could also be a band that somebody who's a fucking complete nerd about music is also really into AC/DC. So it kind of, you kind of get into this weird middle ground where it's like when you meet a Pantera fan and they go, yeah, I love Pantera. And then you have to go, hold up. What kind of Pantera fan are you?
Yeah.
Because there's two distinct types of Pantera fans. And you have to figure it out very quickly.
Yeah.
So it's like, a band like AC/DC or I'll throw Guns N' Roses in that too. I love Guns N' Roses. I love literally everything Guns N' Roses have ever done, including the fucking Chinese Democracy. I even like these last few songs that they've released. They sound very different for what you're expecting from Guns N' Roses, but they're still good. I mean, that's just my opinion. But
I do
Coworker music easily.
I am confronted with, upon analyzing this, is there a certain level of popularity where regardless of how good you are going to have something of a Coworker music thing? If you are big enough, are you just doomed that fate anyway? Eventually, I mean, you don't care because you've made it.
Yeah.
But like, would we consider Metallica a Coworker band because they're just so popular? Because
I wouldn't say that somebody was wrong. Because they're that big. But I do feel like certain bands fit too much, like Coworker Metallica fans aren't into everything Metallica ever did.
No. I feel like, and this is honestly my take, is the closest I would say Metallica got to Coworker music was maybe their 90s era because it was so massive. But even then, I wouldn't necessarily, I love that stuff.
Oh,
but
yeah,
I think
me too. Yeah.
But I think, if especially Load and Reload, there is some stuff on there that, now I think about it, could potentially have some Coworker-isms, if you will. Yeah. But I just think I wouldn't call Death Magnetic Coworker metal because it's too thrash,
Yeah. So coworkers, your regular coworkers are probably not into Kill 'Em All. And if they are, they pretty much just have like Seek and Destroy
they're your cool
in there.
friend who also works there.
Yeah. I just decided to do a search and just ask, because nowadays the internet, if you ask it something, it's all just AI now, unfortunately. So I just asked, what are bands that are considered Coworker music? And it told me, the internet told me, Coworker music is basically safe, widely liked, low offense music that won't get you reported to HR or start a debate in the office. Oh, no, I don't know about that. It is usually clean, familiar, and not too aggressive or explicit. Here's a breakdown of bands or artists that commonly fall into that category. Oh, okay. They brought up older bands. Fleetwood Mac.
Okay.
But here's the thing. Fleetwood Mac is a band that they have some massive hits, but
they have a deep discography.
So if somebody is really into Fleetwood Mac, I'd be like, well, there's a little more effort involved in them. The Eagles, I'd throw the Eagles in that because they have enough hits that a lot of people are like really into the Eagles, but they only own the greatest hits album.
I have an interesting thought that just popped in my head, and I don't want to lose it.
Let's go with it. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if you're familiar with the term butt rock.
Yes, butt rock. But that's what people call like Nickelback and stuff, right?
Nickelback. Skillet is like
butt rock.
Butt rock. Yeah. So
Why?
here's my
Why
thought.
is it called butt rock?
Nothing but rock.
Like really?
Yeah, it's literally a term taken from radio where it was like, okay, so nothing but rock 24/7.
Oh, interesting.
Here's Nickelback with Rockstar, and it's like the least offensive rock song in the world. That's as far as I'm aware, it came from that. But
Has there ever? I'm like, if you would use the term rock star in a song, the song is never any good.
Okay, here's my phrase I'm coining.
Okay.
Do you think I am correct in saying this?
All right.
Not all Coworker music is butt rock. But all butt rock is Coworker music.
I mean,
I feel like there's fucking synonyms, you know?
Yeah, but I think Coworker music goes outside of that realm too. But yeah, you're right. The bands that would be similar to like your Nickelbacks and stuff, that would be considered butt rock music.
Yeah,
I would say that's all Coworker music because it's easily accessible. Don't need to think too hard about it, and yeah. So anyway, they also included Journey, which it's the same sort of thing where I think Journey has hits, but what if somebody came and said, "I like the first two Journey albums"? You'd be like, "Oh, okay, what?" All right.
I have a theory here, and I'm gonna use streaming numbers to back me up. So bear with me 1 second. I'm gonna look up Journey.
All right,
now,
you looked him up, but I'm
course-
gonna say the next name that's listed here. I'm gonna draw the line here. It said Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, and I'm gonna say a big fuck no to that.
Nah. So here's my thing. Here's my thing, right? Journey have one completely everyone fucking knows it song. Don't Stop Believing.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
The drop off from Don't Stop Believing to their second most played song.
Hold on, let me guess. Is the second one? It's either Separate Ways or Wheel in the Sky.
Actually, Any Way You Want It is the second
Oh
most
shit! I
played.
should have known that. Any way you want
So,
it. Yeah.
here's the thing, right? It's no secret that white folk get fucking turned to Don't Stop Believing, right?
Some.
Some. I'm not gonna lie, a few beers deep, I like that song. But here's the thing: I'm more of a Separate Ways guy. But like I say, the drop off is nearly 2.5 billion plays.
Oh wow.
Between Don't Stop Believing, well, was it Don't Stop Believing has nearly 2.8 billion plays.
Yeah.
Any Way You Want It has 571,000 plays.
What?
Yeah,
It's not even in the millions.
It is in the millions. Sorry,
Oh, okay.
571 million. My
I was
bad,
just
my
like,
bad.
holy crap.
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes a good point because it's like, do you put Journey in the list or do you just put Don't Stop Believing in the list?
Honestly, I'm of the mindset that Don't Stop Believing alone is in the list, and the rest of the Journey discography is pretty much safe. Like, where does this leave Foreigner? I mean, Foreigner have I Want to Know What Love Is, but I wouldn't say that's a
No, that's your fault. You're getting into dad rock now.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. If you want to take it that much further, I mean, the thing is, I feel like there's a certain there's a certain reality TV show trashiness to music that really I feel didn't show up until the 2000s.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I feel like the idea of Coworker music back in the 80s, 90s, 70s, I think music was pretty universal unless you were like underground in the metal or the punk stuff. Like,
Yeah, a lot of it. I feel like a band like Foreigner, though, it immediately made me draw another distinction because, like, there's Coworker music, but if somebody brings up a band like Foreigner and says, hey, Foreigner's my favorite band, I think of them more as older guy who stopped listening to new music at a certain point. But if you go to his house, he has a big record collection, but just nothing made after like 1991 or something. And he has a lot of Foreigner. So I wouldn't consider that Coworker music, because like there's something to be said about those people that like their lives just went a different direction and they just got bored with searching out new music. It didn't excite them the way it used to, and they just went, you know what, just let's cap it there, because I have all of this shit that I love to appreciate. And I don't necessarily fault them for that. I just think they're the kind of people that shouldn't be commenting on newer music. Just stay in your lane and be quiet. But I don't consider that Coworker music necessarily.
I feel like that in itself is an interesting thing. Is like, are you, and cycling back around to what you said about that person, nothing excited them past a certain point.
Yeah.
Is it a case of, you fell out of love with music past a certain point, and you just at that stage, I feel it's either a case of you're not happy with where the sound has gone, or you don't want the sound to change. Yeah, and I think there's two different distinctions.
Could also be something else becomes more important in their lives, because a lot of people. That's the one thing that like always makes me feel like a weirdo, is that I know it's over there too a little bit differently, but sports over here is presented like important news. Like there's news segments.
It is over here.
There's news segments about sports. There isn't news segments about music. It's like, and now we turn to our music reporter. No, that does not exist on regular newscasts. So it's always made me feel like, oh, there's most people really care about sports. Yeah. And so a lot of those people are the people that are into Coworker music, because their life is filled with, because some people, like, sure, they may be obsessive about one team, but a whole lot of people just watch all kinds of fucking sports all the time. So music is literally a background thing. Music needs to be skillet, because it needs to just be playing quietly in the background and not getting in the way of you paying attention to your game. And so it's like, I've constantly felt like a weirdo, because I'm like, I'm the complete opposite. If you want to put on sports, it better be on a tiny TV way over in the fucking corner, and the music better be fucking front and center where I am.
Yeah.
But I'm weird. I realized that I am a minority in the world, because apparently it's not just America. It is worldwide. Sports are more important than music. Maybe not in every country, but anyway, so it's like, so it's weird. It's weird because like saying Coworker music and assigning it to music that I think, for lack of a better term, sucks, isn't always necessarily fair, because not everybody is, if somebody just brings up, I don't know, the Eagles, and like, oh, I really love the Eagles, it doesn't mean you immediately be like, you suck at Coworker music. It's probably because like they don't really listen to music, and they don't even fucking care. They're just like, yeah, I like the Eagles. I have 5 CDs at home. I have the Eagles, Janis Joplin. It's like, they all have the same 5 CDs. It's like, do you have any like grunge? Yep, I have Nirvana Unplugged. It's like, that's Coworker music right there. Nirvana, not Coworker music in my opinion. Nirvana Unplugged, 100% Coworker music, because it is the one that, like, people that don't like Nirvana, they all like that album. Which is why I always make that case that, like, if that's your favorite Nirvana album, you don't really like Nirvana that much. You like that version of Nirvana. But that's either way. I didn't realize that it listed some more bands for me. It actually categorized them. How cool is that? That was the classic safe office rock. Now we're on to indie/chill vibes. Vampire Weekend.
Yep.
The Lumineers. Is that a stomp clap band? The Lumineers. They
are the stomp clap.
I thought it was like what's that?
Yeah, I'm along with you. You belong with me. You belong with me. Oh,
Oh, Jesus Christ! Get out of here. Leave. Don't ever do that again. Of Monsters and
fuck this
Men.
podcast. It's over.
Of Monsters and Men and Glass Animals. I don't think I've ever heard of Glass Animals before, but I thought it was. What is that? What is that band? They were like an Irish band, and they were like
Dropkick Murphys.
no. But they're a stomp clap band.
Oh, Irish.
They're either
Yeah, no.
I think they're Irish.
I don't know why I said Dropkick Murphys. I just thought Irish.
They're Irish and they're like a stomp clap band.
Thin Lizzy.
Why am I thinking like something brothers or something cousins?
I'm pissing all the Irish people off.
People out there are going to be like, "It's you." Just tell me the band.
I'm sorry.
And I like how below these bands it says why it works: upbeat but not overwhelming coffee shop energy. All right, pop. Yeah. Everyone knows Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift. I would consider Coworker music. I would also consider Beyonce Coworker music. Just because you're obsessed with a particular artist doesn't, because like they don't, their music isn't that great. Like I want to like pop music, and occasionally there's a pop song that comes out that I go, oh, that's really good. But so many of these massive pop artists, it seems like it's a huge mountain of bullshit. And then it somehow catches on to where now they're not just a pop star, now they're a celebrity. And so now more people love them because they're famous, and people don't even really look. But then eventually, inevitably, it's all going to come crumbling down like it's currently doing for Taylor Swift, where it's like she still has billions of fans, but now there's a whole bunch that are like, hold on a second, this might not actually be very good.
You did, in fact, girl boss too close to the sun.
Jesus Christ. Ed Sheeran is on the list here. Mm-hmm. But here's the
definite Coworker music.
That is definite Coworker music, but like every time I see an interview with that guy, I'm like, I wish he made good music because he seems cool. He has I think he has a corn tattoo or something like that. And I'm like, why don't you make new metal, Ed Sheeran?
He seems like a really cool, down to earth guy. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, he's figured out a way to just put out a bunch of cheesy singles and have the best life.
Yeah, good for him. I mean, it's probably fun music to play, I guess.
I'm interested into digging into what makes something Coworker metal.
Well, we're gonna get there.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Maroon 5 is also listed for pop music. That's Coworker music.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Maroon 5. Here's an interesting one. I don't necessarily agree with this one because she is popular, but Adele. So Adele, I guess because she's so popular, you could throw her into the Coworker music side of things, but she's too good of a singer, and her songs aren't. I've never heard a song by her that I went, this is not very good for what it is. For what it is, I'm always like, good on you, Adele. This is good quality shit. It's not my cup of tea, but I can hear the quality in what she does.
She's very soulful, and she stands out because she doesn't go the textbook pop star route. Hell, it wasn't until pretty recently that she slimmed down, and it was a very body positivity angle as well. Yeah, to where she didn't smooth her edges down. She was a bigger lady doing the more soul stripped back stuff. Yeah. And I think the songs that she did were really, really good by comparison to a lot of stuff going on. Yeah. But even so, like, I'm not boiling it down to just, big girl did it instead, so it's better. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is she didn't sanitize her personality either. I mean, there was a thing at the Grammys or something where she flipped somebody off. But do you know what that is? That she always struck me as very authentic, and she didn't See, that's a thing that I think distinguishes music from coworker music is a sense of authenticity. You know, you've got bands or artists that have succumbed to the machine, so to speak.
Yeah.
Almost like, you know, certain bands are so popular they can't help.
Or yeah, or the things that they put out all give the vibes of like it's a product. Like there's like Maroon 5 puts out stuff that I feel like it's a product. Like I realize that all could be considered products, but I feel like they probably have consultants that are just like, here are the things we need to mold this into this correct thing to put out to the public.
Here's my question. As an avid lover of this genre, is glam metal coworker music across the board?
So not anymore, I wouldn't call it, but that's another thing I wanted to get into. So in 1989 or 88, Bon Jovi 100% coworker music.
Yeah.
Bon Jovi certainly not bad. Like I like Bon Jovi. Especially 80s Bon Jovi, but I almost feel like the term doesn't really work as well in those, because like everyone was kind of getting music from the same places if you were just a regular music listener.
That's the thing. Is coworker music a symptom of algorithms and algorithm based listening habits?
Also, I think so, but I also think it may be a symptom of or a product of the standards are just lower for what music gets released. Not all the time, but this is a conversation I've had with myself on other various videos I've done on my channel, but we've come far enough now that people need to understand and stop this nonsense of acting like record labels and MTV were not a good thing for music. I'm not saying they were a good thing for music across the board, and eventually, in certain ways, certain record labels or certain record executives or whatever were shitty for music in general. But when you had record labels with A&R representatives, people going out finding artists that were good for one reason or another. You could go out and you could find a person that's like, this person has an incredible voice, we can make them into a pop star. Or, as they used to do for a lot of bands, this band has a lot of potential. Let's sign them and nurture them by letting them release 3 or 4 albums. And then when things got really going in the late 80s and early 90s, these labels were signing up smaller bands and getting them exposure to people that would not have heard them otherwise, because for a very good example, Mark Smurl's old band Stick. If they hadn't been signed to a major and made a music video, I never would have known who the fuck they were, because I was not from Kansas. They would have just been a band in Kansas that people in Kansas know. And but I think that there was a little bit of a filter that things had to go through. Now, in some cases, the filter would end up making things too watered down or whatever. But I think in a lot of cases, especially when it came to rock bands in the late 80s and early 90s, it was almost like just quality control of being like having a producer that would come into the thing and say, you guys can do a lot better than that. Or maybe why are you doing this here? You don't need to, you shouldn't, what's the point of doing this? I feel like it would sound better if you did this. Sometimes that was very helpful, because as we've learned over the years, just leaving a band to their own devices, what does it make them do? Put out the same shit over and over and over again. So like I said before, it's not 100% that it was all good, but I think that there was some kind of standard for here's what we're pushing out to the people, this stuff. Because the thing is, MTV and a record label could throw $1 million behind an act, and they could put the video on regular rotation for a week straight. And if people didn't like it, there's plenty of examples of artists that just didn't go anywhere, even though they had major backing behind them. I remember like in the early 90s, they were trying to push a new Aldo Nova album on us. And it was produced by John Bon Jovi. They had a fucking theatrical music video that combined 2 songs together. Neither one of them very good. But I remember they kept playing this on like Headbangers Ball and other things, and trying to be like, you need to listen to Aldo Nova. And they even had like segments where John Bon Jovi's on there, like, Aldo Nova, such an important artist. You need to listen to him. And guess what? Nobody fucking bought that album, and it just went away. So you can't say that like, well, they were manipulating things because they were putting money behind things. That didn't always work. But I think that the thing that we forget is that some of that was a good thing, because it really was stopping the shit where like a band that is like super bland wouldn't have been signed at a certain point, because they would just been like, well, maybe you come up with your own voice, or like, come up with your own thing, and then we'll come back and see you perform in 6 months and see how you're doing. I know it's like I'm romanticizing that period, but I think part of that
there's
is
something to be said for it.
But yeah, part of that is what's led us to Coworker music, because there's so, and I'm not throwing any of these older artists, I'm talking about newer stuff, because I feel like there's less of a standard. It's just like, this is fine. Are the levels right? Is everything auto-tuned? Well, good. Just put it out. Who cares? And anyway, interesting plot twist. According to this search, heavy metal is not Coworker music because it's too intense, and anything with explicit language. Anyway, I'm going to ask it though. I'm going to ask it this though. Let's see this. But if you consider some metal Coworker music, what would be considered Coworker metal? Let's see what it says.
I've got something up right here if it doesn't want to cooperate.
Oh, he does, ladies. He has something up right now.
I do. It's actually lasted more than 4 hours. I'm thinking of calling a doctor.
Oh, my God. Coworker metal is basically metal that doesn't scare HR. It's the stuff that has guitars and edge, but is melodic, cleanish, and not too aggressive. Guess what the first band listed is?
Go for it.
Metallica. Can't argue with it.
So fucking what?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like they're big enough and they have enough hits that people can say I'm a fan of Metallica and not know half of their catalog.
Yeah.
So anyway, what were you going to say?
I was going to say I've got here. I also have a little thing up. It says here, Coworker.
Oh, he has a little thing up now. I've never seen it, so I'm just going by what he's saying.
I've got a little dial, and I can turn the intensity. I'm one of these superhumans.
Oh, nice.
Sometimes, if you ask nicely, I can vibrate. Anyway,
my superpower is giant boner.
We got too into that.
Cock on.
Cock over London. Cock on Chicago. Oh, Wesley Penis.
Oh,
it's the cock America loves. Right, okay. So Coworker metal refers to polished, highly produced hard rock or metal that is widely accessible, often played on radio, and popular among non-metalheads.
Okay.
It is often used as a pejorative term for average or safe heavy music recommended by colleagues featuring catchy hooks and big commercial choruses. Definition: often considered mid or average music, functioning as a gateway to the genre or simply a mainstream preference. Mm-hmm. Common Coworker bands. Now, this is interesting because this is not adding up in ways, right?
Okay.
So it says here, what is it, like average or safe? But it's saying here, common co-worker bands often associated with bands like Sleep Token. I would consider Sleep Token in that bracket because they have enough butt rockery, even if they are doing an interesting take on the metalcore.
They also have falsetto dude vocals.
Falsetto
so
dude
fits into that.
vocals. Spirit Box. Now, I do like a bit of Spirit Box. Some gent with some female vocals over it.
Yeah, I saw them open for Korn, and they were fine.
Yeah, I feel like her vocals really carry a lot of it because there's a charisma to her that really adds something to that band. Slaughter to Prevail. See, Slaughter to Prevail don't strike me as safe.
No, Slaughter to Prevail
or
is
average.
They're only popular because the vocalist does really loud gutturals.
Really loud
that's
gutturals.
Literally it. Like, they're not a bad band necessarily because I've heard some stuff by them where I went, wow, technically that's pretty interesting. But I think it's just because of that guy, whatever his name is.
Same thing goes for Lorna Shore. See, I wouldn't call them Coworker. You know Lorna Shore, right?
I don't even know a song by Lorna Shore. Is that a metalcore band?
Yeah, they're like deathcore with like a symphonic thing going on, but like the vocalist is known for that,
which sometimes is okay, but sometimes not. Yeah,
it's like and then and Falling in Reverse. Now, I would consider Falling in Reverse textbook.
Here's the thing, though, that some of that metal might be more accessible than others. But if somebody came to me and said, "Oh, my favorite band's Lorna Shore," I feel like they probably listen to a lot of different bands.
I would say
that's not like a safe. Oh, this is the only thing I listen to in the background. I don't think that that's the case.
See, what is it? Now, a band that I think is synonymous with Coworker metal, it's Five Finger Death Punch.
That's 100%. on the list here for melodic radio friendly metal.
Yeah.
Here's it broke it up into categories again. Under Metallica, it also has Iron Maiden, which Iron Maiden is a band for me that I feel is like what has happened to Nirvana, where people just buy Nirvana shirts and they don't really listen to Nirvana. People buy Iron Maiden shirts, but they don't actually listen to Iron Maiden. I
think Wheatus are responsible for Iron Maiden's perception as tickets to Iron Maiden.
I saw them open for Living Colour, and they were really good.
Yeah. I get good vibes from those guys.
Yeah.
But like the thing is, like I say, Teenage Dirtbag is such a massive song. And hang on,
became massive again. It was massive in the early 2000s, and then had a resurgence on TikTok.
So let me have a little look here. So, Teenage Dirtbag has over 1 billion plays.
Jesus Christ!
Here we go.
Does anybody actually remember what movie that song was in? Because it was in a movie. It was in a movie.
Iron Maiden's top song has 600 million plays, and it is The Trooper.
Oh, so yeah, Iron Maiden. So that brings another interesting facet to this discussion. If you're calling something Coworker music, is it actually the music or is it the brand now?
Yeah,
the Iron Maiden brand. So it also has Black Sabbath listed here, which the last two listed for classic are Black Sabbath and Judas Priest, and I'm going to say neither one of those would qualify for me.
No, Judas Priest, no. Just because... fuck, what's Judas Priest's... Judas Priest are far
Breaking the Law is probably their number one stream song.
Yeah, I was going to say the closest thing. I mean, look at Judas Priest's numbers. Breaking the Law is just over half the streams of... There's 353 million plays.
Wheatus has more plays than Judas Priest.
Wheatus has more plays than Judas Priest and Iron Maiden combined.
Wow. Way to go, Wheatus, man.
At least in that song.
Yeah.
Hang on, hold up, though.
Okay.
I want to check something. So, fuck. So So this is the drop off though. Wheatus have Teenage Dirtbag, and the second most. So Teenage Dirtbag has 1,662,947,708 plays. So over 1 billion plays.
Yes.
Their second most played song has 23 million.
Wow, that's still
that
pretty damn good. But yeah,
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not shitting.
That's
on
probably
Wheatus
the second song everybody goes to go, what else is this band doing? And then they go, nah.
Yeah.
I also got Avenged Sevenfold listed on this list.
Yep. Okay.
Which I think they've gone past that now because they've now put out an album that even upset the Coworker fans.
See, I think they surpassed it as well. I agree.
Five Finger Death Punch is on here, and Breaking Benjamin, who I don't even know who they are, mostly
Breaking
because
Benjamin would be.
if you name your band something that shitty, I'm never going to listen to you. And they may even make great music, but Breaking Benjamin.
I will say, when I was growing up, I remember hearing the name Breaking Benjamin. Didn't hear or see anything from them, but the big song is Diary of Jane.
Don't even know what it sounds like. I like this sneaky metal. Barely feels like metal. Number one. What do you think the number one Coworker metal band that barely feels like metal is? This is a good one.
Let me think. Describe it again. Sneaky metal.
Metal that barely feels like metal. It says why it works: atmospheric, less aggressive, blends into background better.
Oh, see, I feel like I'm letting it down because I do like this song, but is it Evanescence?
No, close. It's Deftones.
Okay. Yep.
Deftones, A Perfect Circle, Tool, Chevelle. Yeah. Some of those too, like, I feel like if somebody's into Tool is not, there's no way. Those fans are way too nerdy to just be like, oh, it's just Coworker music. I don't think that works. Metal that usually works in small doses, Linkin Park, System of a Down, Korn, and Slipknot. Once again, I think those are all artists that people will say they're fans of, but they don't know most of their music. Linkin Park might be an exception.
I will say Linkin Park are the ultimate Coworker nu metal band because that's the one everybody knows. There's not a person walking this earth at this point that doesn't know in the end.
I've always said that basic bitches love you when you're dead. So if you've got a dead person, who fronted your band, basic ass fucking people are like, oh, I love them now.
Dude, I will say, I can remember one of the most, like, slimy things I've ever witnessed was, like, I remember going into I'm not going to say, I'm not going to say which music retailer it was. It wasn't, like, an independent shop or anything like that, but I remember walking.
Do we have a sponsor that I don't know about?
No. I just don't want to burn any bridges. My point here is this. I remember the week before Lemmy died, all of the Motorhead CDs were £3.
Yes.
Right? And the week after he died, they were all like £15. Yeah. That's like that's a 5-time triple. Like, god damn, dude.
It's like if you go back in time to before Peter Steele died, and you look at the people who listened to Typo Negative, they were specific people who had specific tastes in music. Peter Steele dies, every basic goth person on the planet all of a sudden is really into Typo Negative. But it's just I don't know what it is about death. Somebody dies and it becomes way more romantic to just be into their stuff.
It was HMV, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have those over here.
I realized I have a lot of record shop friends, and I didn't want any misconstrued.
At this point, if it's a store that sells music in general, I give them a little bit of a pass. I'll even give, fuck certain aspects of Target and Walmart, but they have music there, and you can buy it if you want it. And I don't shame anybody for buying. I've found a record at Target before, and I bought it, and I went, fuck, this is awesome. I don't shame anybody for that. That also is the thing is that when we're talking about this music, this Coworker music, I do think that you're talking about something that's just very base level. And I think that there are base level fans of things that fall out of the category of it's easy to listen to. Like there's base level people that will throw out some extreme metal thing, but really they are as basic as it comes. Even though they're, really into, I don't know, I can't really think of one right offhand, but I know that
have you heard
exists
that
as
kind
well.
Have you heard that Cannibal Corpse song, I'm a Smashed Face? Like, to us, that's like surface level at this point.
Yeah.
But like, to someone who's been like, whoa, I just learned about death metal today at the age of 28.
Yeah. But it's like,
it was all screamo and that.
But I also think that there's a level of that where it's people that are through the internet, through the power of the internet, they've learned, they've kind of built themselves their own little battle vest of what they're supposed to say, even though they don't really listen to that much music. So you will have a guy who spends the majority of his time doing things that are not music related. But if you play if you post something about Napalm Death from their third or fourth album, they'll all be like, it all fell downhill after Scum, because that's the edgelord metal guy thing to say, even though they haven't heard most of what Napalm Death did and really don't listen to a whole lot of music, but they know that, oh man, first 4 Metallica albums are the only good ones. These bands were only good when they did their first album. They know that if they throw that out there, then maybe they can feel good about themselves, and that they aren't just a complete wasteoid who's just spending their energy on nonsense. You could say the same things about us, I guess. I don't know, but this is our podcast, so no, we don't have none of that here.
I've got kind of an idea. But it's kind of a speed round based sort of thing.
Okay.
And we're gonna try and I've got a list of bands here that I've just thought of, and we're gonna do a speed round. Yes or no? Are they Coworker music? And a quick thing on why.
Okay, let's get. I like this idea, the speed round idea. This is fun. But before we start that, I got a question for everybody.
We got any people tonight that are high?
Any of y'all high out there? I'm just high on coffee. That last cup really kicked in. I only have 2 cups of coffee a day usually. Usually smaller ones than this. But sometimes when it kicks in, man, that shit kicks in. All right.
Cool. Right.
Here we go.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay.
You're asking me, and I'm answering?
Yes.
Okay.
You're going to give a yes or a no as to whether or not they're co-working music, and try to give a 1-sentence explanation for why.
I have assigned a soundboard choice for each one, for a yes and for a no. You will know the difference between the two.
Okay, cool. Metallica.
Yeah!
Perfect. Nice.
I don't like it, but I think they would fit in certain ways.
Okay, Kiss. This is interesting because, are they or aren't they? Yeah.
Because I was thinking about it in the same way of people have Kiss shirts, and Kiss is so well known that they're a brand beyond music.
Yeah.
I would throw them in there for it's so weird. Anyway, yeah. Go ahead. Next one.
Toto.
He fucking left the band.
Nope.
That means no.
Cool.
Toto, absolutely not. nobody would say that because they would probably just say, "I like Africa" by Toto.
Yeah,
they may
I
not
was
even
thinking-
know who does the song. They just like Africa,
Yeah.
which I can't fault them for that. That song's great.
Yo, I did not realize this. There is a huge drop off between Africa, Hold the Line, and Rosanna. So I didn't realize. I mean, maybe Rosanna was a massive hit in the UK or something because I heard it all the time.
How far down the list is Georgie Porgy? That's what I want to know.
Man, you'd be surprised.
Pudding pie.
Dude, actually, you'd be surprised. It is their 5th most streamed song.
Nice.
So-
Well, it wasn't
so-
hit back in the day. I just didn't know
Yeah.
it because I was I was born that year. So
Yeah, Georgie Porgy's a weird one. But one thing I will say, Africa has 2.5 billion.
damn.
Hold the Line has 1.3 billion.
Yep.
Frankly, it should be the most streamed song of all time because it is the best song of all time, according to Eddie Sparxx.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Africa, 2.5 billion. Hold the Line, 1.3 billion. Rosanna, 480 million. So
Rosanna should be higher. That song's so good.
Rosanna needs more recognition than that. I mean, fuck, dude. But that being said, okay, we've established that Toto are not, in fact,
I would say no.
Coworker music. Okay, I'm going to make an argument here. Megadeth.
He fucking left the band!
Okay.
I'm gonna say no.
Elaborate.
I don't think they don't have any hits. First off, they, like actual hits. Like
Yeah.
there are trends on TikTok, but they're among metal heads.
Yeah. Megadeth are a band beloved among metal heads.
They
like
also
you said.
aren't a band that you just see people just randomly wearing their shirts when they don't know who they are. I think if somebody's wearing a Megadeth shirt, they've been to a Megadeth concert, they have albums, they know who they are. They're usually going to be not only big fans of Megadeth, but probably other metal as well. So even though I'm usually on the Metallica side of arguments when it comes to those two bands, I'm going to say Megadeth out of the two is, I would say, not a Coworker band.
I would say though, and this is me just, and this is not a grievance, this is just a pattern we've picked up on over the years. I think Megadeth, Killing Is My Business Through Risk is not Coworker music.
Okay.
I think vibe-wise, I get Coworker music vibes from the second half of Megadeth in a way to where it's like trying to appeal to as many Megadeth fans as possible at once, but in turn removing any quote-unquote risk, pardon the pun.
Yeah. I agree with that because I feel like they started, some bands will broaden to catch all music fans, but they got to the point where they're just trying to catch all metal fans, and in turn, they've narrowed their scope and gotten very generic with even my favorite Megadeth albums of this millennium have songs on them where I go, that one's kind of lame, because there's a very same thing with Iron Maiden, where they've all just gone too safe and too samey. And even when the shredding is real good, it's always on a song where I go, there's nothing much to that. And then, of course, there'll be somebody on the internet that's like, could you write a better song? And I'm like, well, yeah, I could. Could I play it? No. I could write it for damn sure. But then again, every time somebody says that, I always go, well, I possibly could write a song better than that, but you probably couldn't. So is your opinion now null and void as well? Where are we drawing the line here, folks?
Okay.
All right, next band.
Okay, next band. Faith No More.
He fucking left the band!
Yeah,
At this point, I would say most people don't even know the name of the song Epic.
Yes.
They know the song. They do not know what it's called. They do not know who does it. You got to be an older person, and usually you're going to be an older person that
is smarter than everyone else.
You got really into Faith No More, or Mike Patton, or both. I would not call them one.
I wouldn't. I would say at a push, the closest pick is either Epic or the cover of Easy. But apart from that, they are not a Coworker band at all.
No.
I am in full agreement. Ooh. Alice in Chains.
He fucking left the band!
That's another thing. That's another thing. I feel like basic metal fans, if they hear Man in the Box or like Rooster, they don't know who the band is unless they are in. Most of them are going to be like, "Oh, I like that song. Who's it by?" They're not going to know it's Alice in Chains. But people that are older and people that are like really into music or really into Alice in Chains, obviously they know it. But I don't think they have enough going for them on that side of things. Their music hasn't carried over into mainstream. They don't have TikTok trends that are Alice in Chains that I know of.
I will say that I'm in a bit of a...
Lane Staley is dead, so people love dead people.
And Mike Starr. Mike
Starr, rest in peace, Mike Starr.
They got two. They doubles.
Yeah.
But like I say, one thing I will notice is that there has been a trend on TikTok among even younger folk where there is a deep appreciation of Alice in Chains.
Oh, well,
so if you manage to find yourself in that TikTok algorithm, you know that you're doing something right, because Alice in Chains just fucking rule.
Yeah, I feel like you can tell, having spent a lot of time on TikTok recently, because I'm re-ingratiating myself into that environment. Mostly because I found that like people actually use that app. Whereas like if I want to go promote shit on like Instagram and Facebook, it's like Facebook has some of the shittiest people on earth on it, and then Instagram, not a lot of people are really on it that much. But TikTok, like there are people using it, older people too. Unfortunately for you young people, sorry.
I will say the day you left the day you left, I was really sad, because the thing is, TikTok, unfortunately, is kind of the best at forging a community, but it's also the hardest.
Yeah.
So you do need to put in a little bit of work, but if you watch and react to the stuff that you like, eventually you will build a god tier fucking algorithm that just feeds you, like, whether better or worse, it's the world we live in now, right? But it will feed you exactly what you want to see, and it will and if you filter out the shit, you won't see the shit anymore, but you got to put in the work to not see the shit. That's the thing.
And I've been doing that. I've been doing videos, as you've seen on TikTok.
Yeah.
I'm even thinking of I've set it up to where I can do a radio show on a TikTok live.
Oh, cool.
And my problem is I've been in kind of a funk lately, and I find myself like, I don't know, like I hit a wall where like sometimes I just don't want to do things, and I'm just like rare exceptions is like things like Cranked and Ranked, where I look forward to it, and I never go, oh man, I gotta do Cranked and Ranked, but I do that about pretty much anything I have to do by myself. So solo YouTube videos, radio shows, I just immediately just like I feel like this weird funk I'm in where I just go, I don't want to. It's just I don't feel like it. And I think part of it is that like I struggle daily with, I guess you would call it imposter syndrome, and I always just feel like, who the fuck wants to hear from me? Well, I'm just another doofus old guy out there, and I get annoyed by other doofus old guys too, and I'm like, I'm just one of them, and so I talk myself out of doing stuff, and it sucks. Don't you know? Anxiety and depression will do that to you, folks. But I plan on making a comeback in the world, because I still have my radio app. You can still go listen to Old Head Radio 24 hours a day. But my radio shows stopped just because I felt, I don't know. That's the best way I can put it. I got into a funk where I just went, yeah, who the fuck cares? Who's even watching or listening?
If there's one thing I can attest to, is that you just got to follow, and I know this sounds cheesy, and I know this sounds like cringy self-help, but you really just got to lean into what you want to fucking do, and the right people will follow you.
Yeah.
You know?
And plus, I think that I'm going to start doing it because I think once I get that first show out of the way, doing it on TikTok, because there's always I see other people's like quote unquote radio shows they're doing on TikTok, and I go, even the ones that they're like, I can look and I go, this is really badly done, and they're not playing very good music. They still got a few viewers, and I'm just like, I think if I get past that hump of like doing the first one, then I'm going to be like, all right, this is fun, and then I'll start doing them more. But I'm sharing way too much about myself in this episode, but it is.
Hey, there's no such thing as too much deep stuff this deep in the podcast, dude. Yeah. The people that are listening are here for us.
Yeah, and I appreciate the listeners, and the things that people say to me sometimes about our stuff and my stuff is very helpful. But I still find myself hitting that wall all the time. But TikTok seems like the most active place to be, and I'm just like, why am I not doing that more? I should be. So I'm doing shit. If you're not on TikTok, just go download it just for me, and then go look for. I think it's under Old Head Network is what is my username. Old Head Network.
Nice. Professional.
Yeah. Well, not really. It's ripping off Dan Reed Network. I started using that in the Old Head Network as a joke because of Dan Reed Network.
Nice.
Anyway. Where were we on? Are we still doing bands?
Yeah, I got plenty of thought provoking names.
Okay.
That we haven't discussed yet. I'm not going to bring up any bands that we've already talked about.
Got it. All right.
Soundgarden.
He fucking left the band.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah,
I don't. Yeah, I don't think that they. Yeah, because like, what's their most popular song? Black Hole Sun? Is that their most popular song?
I will say the closest they get to Coworker music is Black Hole Sun. The rest, way too deep by today's standards.
Yeah, but even Black Hole Sun, I don't think that's not like a go-to. People like it.
Yeah, it doesn't have the hallmarks of a Coworker music song. It's just played a lot.
Yeah. What is that? Is that their most played song, Black Hole Sun?
It is. That is. Yeah.
Are they over 1 billion on that one?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good.
Just barely, but yeah.
Hey, we got, once again, he's also a dead guy. People love it.
Okay, I had this will be a good one.
That's what's going to happen with me. I'm going to die, and then I'm going to become like a huge TikTok trend. Yeah. Where were we when this guy was doing his great content?
Please don't. What we need to do is we need to get a third guy, and we need him to die, and then we can benefit from the dead dude.
I'll just have an AI generated version of me.
We'll just shoot it live and just be like, "There's our dead guy."
Oh no, I meant the AI will take over after I died. But that's even funnier. I'm gonna create an AI version of me just to have it off itself on a on a video.
Which Old Head 2 kills itself live on this live stream. And
then the next version of Old Head takes his place. Little does everybody know, this is like the 10th version of Old Head. I've already killed 9 of them.
Little does everybody know that Old Head 2 and 3 were shot in the street by Old Head 2.5.
We didn't let him cook long enough. That's why he was a 0.5. He wasn't ready to go, but he was a little crazy. Anyway.
Okay, this will be a good one. Red Hot Chili Peppers. And I'm gonna put a quick little thing in here. I'm gonna say,
ladies.
Yep. Bend over. Yeah, I would say Red Hot Chili Peppers weren't until Californication, and since Californication, they have been a textbook Coworker music band, at least since By the Way.
Yeah,
By the Way, they doubled down.
I think people could argue that it started with Under the Bridge, but once again, that's back in the early 90s, and it's a different time, and it was just a popular song. But But I feel the same way about them that I feel about Pantera. It's like, hey, I love Red Hot Chili Peppers. Cool.
Yeah.
Which one is your favorite? Which one? Like, what side are we going on? Are you Coworker, or are you somebody that's into really cool shit from back in the day?
Dude, I'm currently looking at their discography on Spotify, and I'm feeling so targeted that I'm becoming acutely aware that the world does not want me in it, because my two favorite Red Hot Chili Peppers albums are the only ones not available. They've got Red Hot Chili Peppers, Freaky Styley, huge gap between 85 and 91 because they've gotten rid of not only Uplift Mofo, but Mother's Milk isn't there either.
Yeah, might as well just delete Spotify altogether.
Yeah, I mean the good news is I've got them on CD, and I didn't rip them to my phone.
Do you have the album pack one that has the CDs in the little slip cases, the little slip covers? They did one. They did one for them. It's
motherfucker. I could have saved like £3.
I don't remember which albums it includes, but I saw it back in the day. Anyway, but here's the thing. I realized that I want to guess what the most popular Red Hot Chili Peppers song is, because I was, my brain goes Under the Bridge, but then I go, wait, hold on, no. So is it Can't Stop?
It is Can't Stop.
Okay.
Oh, actually, no. Their ranking system is inaccurate. So they've actually put ones that are actually higher in plays, less further down. So Californication is the most played song, followed by Under the Bridge.
Why Californication? I mean it's fine, but
yeah,
that's a weird song to listen to a bunch.
So Californication is 1.96 billion plays. Under the Bridge is 1.912 billion plays, followed by Can't Stop, and then Scar Tissue, and then Other Side.
Yeah,
and then Snow Hey-O.
Other Side, why is that popular too? I don't get it. I mean, I understand that album is popular. I am going to go on record and say that Can't Stop has really grown on me. Like I actually kind of like that one. It's a fun little tune, but it's a fun coworker tune to where if my coworkers are putting that on, that's one of the songs I'm going to go, I can hang with this one. I can hang with this one. And then after that, it's going to be like, never made it as a wise man. And I'll be like, no.
Okay. I've got a few names here I'm going to skip over because I already know the fucking answer. Here's one. Motley Crue.
He fucking left the band!
I feel like that's a certain type of music fan.
Yeah.
I don't, and I also don't, you could make a case for them, I think, but.
It's weird, isn't it? Because, like, they have so many hallmarks of a band that could be a Coworker band at this point, but I don't know if they're necessarily, and this is not me running down their legacy as one of the leading hair metal band of the 80s.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But Motley Crue, relevance-wise, they're not as relevant today as they were in the 80s, so I'm not going to give them the Coworker moniker.
But also, I would say that, like, there probably are people out there that love, like, Home Sweet Home. But that's kind of as far as it goes. But I would go on I would expect that Home Sweet Home has nowhere near the plays that Don't Stop Believin' has, or whatever, even though it is a massively successful song.
Let's check this out. Motley Crue. I'm having a lot of fun. The end of the episode is nowhere in sight with this going on. I'm having a whale of a time. Okay, so holy fucking shit!
Oh, guys, here we go. So,
right, what do you think the most played Motley Crue song is?
I was going to say Home Sweet Home. Is it not?
No.
Okay, hold on.
And the gap is massive.
Is it Kickstart My Heart?
Kickstart My Heart is the most played Motley Crue song. It has 934 million plays.
They don't even have a billion. Sorry, guys.
They don't have a billion, but that is the closest to it, and it's not far off, really, by comparison to a lot of other bands.
Sure, yeah.
But following that, the second most played is Girls, Girls, Girls.
Oh. That's just because they still play it in the strip clubs all the time.
Yeah. Then it's Home Sweet Home.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's Dr. Feelgood.
Mm-hmm. I like that one.
Then it's Shout at the Devil.
Ah. Yep.
Then it's Wild Side, Live Wire, Looks to Kill, Same Old Situation, Take Me to the Top. But those ones are all less than 400 million.
Do you know what really bothers me that isn't in the top songs that absolutely should be? Don't Go Away Mad, Just Go Away. Like, what a fantastic song that is. Should be massive. I mean, it was a big hit when it came out. Not a huge hit, but it was a hit. But that's like one of those songs I just go, this song should just be universally loved. It's so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm in agreement. Okay, next up, this will be interesting. And I know what you're going to put. Machine Head.
He fucking left the band!
No.
Oh, for real?
No, if somebody's into Machine Head, that's not...
Yeah, that's
not even, I wouldn't even say in the world of metal, that's not, I mean, I may not be into that band, but but Machine Head fan,
Yeah.
I would think that they're into a lot of other stuff too.
Yeah. Actually, I was so sure of myself and I got humbled so quickly. I'm going to put my hand up and say,
It doesn't mean I'm right. I bet you somebody out there is like,
thinking?
Machine Head's totally Coworker metal. But I don't know. I wouldn't say so.
I would say a thrash fan would consider Machine Head Coworker metal, but I wouldn't.
Maybe.
But I wouldn't necessarily call. I wouldn't call Machine Head Coworker metal.
I think my problem with bands like Machine Head and the like is that if you throw them into Coworker metal, you're literally throwing like all metal made after 2000 into Coworker metal.
Yeah,
with some few exceptions. You know, there are bands that are really good, but there's a whole lot of this sort of hybrid post-Pantera metal stuff that is pretty boring and it's easy to get into, but I don't think I don't know. I wouldn't consider it Coworker.
I like Machine Head, and I'm going to say, nope, they're not Coworker metal or music.
It's official.
One thing I will say, Slayer definitely aren't Coworker music. If Megadeth aren't Coworker music, Slayer is definitely not. Oh, okay. Go on.
Okay, Slayer falls into the category. Their music doesn't necessarily fall into the category,
but it's cool to like them.
It is basic level metal.
I am very badass.
Like somebody would come to you and like they're wearing a shirt from the most recent Taylor Swift concert, and their one thing will be like, well, I also like Slayer. Like Slayer's the band that you throw out to say like, oh, I also like this. Now, aren't I like the wild one now? Aren't I the wild one? I'm the wild one. You know,
I just drank a beer. Who wants to do me?
You know, to all the other people at my job, they look at me and they go, he's the wild one. Because, like, we thought we knew him, but he likes Slayer. Ooh. So, Slayer, I would throw them into that because they are, unfortunately, they get utilized by people.
Okay. Polar opposite end of the spectrum, Def Leppard.
He fucking left the band!
I'm not.
Interesting.
I'm not. No.
Okay.
Def Leppard. No, I don't think.
Yeah. Yeah. It's. I will say, if they have a claim.
Never
to
mind.
anything,
Hold on. It's gonna be this one right here. Ready?
He fucking left the band!
That's a.
Oh, dude.
It's a yes and a no for me because
I wasn't expecting that sound to be so fucking funny. Play it again.
What? Do it the
Play
same?
it-
Hold on.
play the
Oh,
fucking
God damn
left
it.
the band!
Sorry, the kid. Hold it. Ready?
Both at the same time.
He fucking left the band!
If I can let the band.
That sound can only be summoned when you leave Metallica.
You know, I can play things at the same time. Then mostly it's just going to be a mess.
Can you do all of them? Can you do as many as possible all in
Oh
one go?
shit! Hold on. Jesus Christ! Let's see how many fingers I
God.
can do here. Okay.
That's what
Okay.
she said.
And then, shut up! Shut up! I'm trying to concentrate. Okay. There's this one, and then there's.
Every once in a while, he fucking left the band!
You need to make like one button that does all of them at the same time.
I was kind of upset that I didn't get. I wonder what it sounds like if I put James in this song here.
That's the entire 90s in like one 3-second span.
Yeah, James Hetfield and Eddie Vedder. That is the 90s.
Oh my god.
Anyway, what I was trying to say though is I was trying to say that Def Leppard has music that's easily Coworker music because it's recognizable, it's
Yeah.
easy to digest, it's fun, it doesn't challenge you in a whole lot of different ways. Yeah, I think it's great music, but if somebody says I love Def Leppard, I feel like there's more of a conversation coming. You know, because they're not. So is it Coworker music? Is it a Coworker band? Where are we drawing the line here? Because then you could also draw the line and be like, if somebody's really into Metallica, no, never mind, Metallica doesn't work. It doesn't. Def Leppard, I do think that like they're right on the edge there because they have that music that is easily. Like I was at the grocery store yesterday and heard "Pour Some Sugar on Me" in the grocery store. So
Yeah.
and it was fine. It was
Well-
I love it. That's what I want to shop to anyway. That kind of music.
I do hear them on the radio pretty regularly. Here's another band that could fit the same bill because I also hear them on the radio pretty regularly. Van Halen. Ooh.
He fucking left the band!
Go on.
Van Halen's a well-known band.
Yes.
Are there still songs today that are played a lot, like everywhere? I don't hear Van Halen in the grocery store.
I hear Jump. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like they. And you know what's so weird? They could easily just be playing right now at department stores and stuff all the fucking time, and I never hear that song. And that song is prime for grocery stores. I don't know. That song was in fucking commercials. That's how big that song was. But for some reason, it hasn't carried over to current day Coworker music. I feel like there's a little bit too much. There's too much like sort of sexual swagger in the David Lee Roth era,
Yeah.
and then for the Sammy Hagar era, I think that's an even different niche of people that are into that. But obviously, there are songs,
Yeah.
but like how many though? How many? Like what's a massively popular Van Halen song by Sammy Hagar? Is it Dream? Is Dreams the biggest one?
Why Can't This Be Love is the biggest one.
Yeah. It's got what it takes. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not comfortable calling them a Coworker band because I I think it's all based on that thing. Like you wind up in a conversation with a coworker about music that they like, and the conversation usually is just going to end because it's just going to be like, oh well, I don't really have anything else to say. I just like Skillet. I would say I'm sorry to Skillet, but no, fuck them.
Okay. Creedence Clearwater Revival.
He fucking left the band!
People don't know who did those songs. People know like Fortunate Son, but they don't know who sang it.
Fair. That's more platoon commander songs. Pearl Jam.
I'm gonna have to say
no explanation needed. Moving on.
I think that they could go either way. I would accept an argument that they're Coworker music, but I also feel like their fan base has gotten to a point now that if you're into Pearl Jam,
you're pretty deep in.
They're like your Grateful Dead or your Bruce Springsteen, where you have people just following them on tour, obsessed with them. That's their thing. And I don't necessarily consider bands like that Coworker music because I think that they've
cultivated their own thing.
Yeah, they move into a different quote unquote arena on their own. Yeah.
Okay. Ozzy Osbourne solo.
Well, so here's the thing. That's beyond.
He fucking left the band!
I'm gonna say no, but Ozzy is famous.
Yeah, Ozzy as a figure.
Ozzy himself is just like Slayer, used as like I have a rock t-shirt. It has Ozzy on it. But then you go, cool, what's your favorite Ozzy song? And they might know Crazy Train, but that's maybe. So the Coworker people aren't really into Ozzy. And they're definitely not into Black Sabbath because there's no actual Black Sabbath hit songs. Even though there are popular Black Sabbath songs, nothing is they don't have like a Stairway to Heaven where like everybody fucking knows the song and knows who did it or whatever. So I would say no for Ozzy. What do you? You're not answering to any of these. I mean, you tell me.
I would say, again, it's this thing of past a certain point, career-wise, I feel like Ozzy was enough of a figure to carry his own thing all the way through the 80s to where it didn't feel like Coworker music. It was just like, here's this badass guy who not only kicked ass in the 70s, is kicking ass in the 80s as well. And it transferred into the 90s, slowed down a bit in the 90s, and then by the time you get to the 2000s, I feel like if you're going to call any era of Ozzy Coworker music, it would probably be the last couple of albums with Ordinary Man and Patient Number 9.
Well, because he literally was working with producers who did Coworker music. So
exactly. So that very much falls into that bracket.
Do you think I feel like Ozzy Osbourne has the most fascinating career of any musician?
It's up there. It's like 100% up there.
Like how many? Who else can you think of? Like he was the beginning. He was in a classic band from the 70s that a lot of people attributed to being the beginning of a popular genre of music. Yeah. He went solo in the 80s, did his own thing outside of this legendary band, and became a legendary figure on his own. And then, in the 90s, he still had some success. But then before you know it, he was a reality TV star on one of the earliest reality TV shows, barring Real World and Road Rules. I think they were already out and things like that. But he became like a different kind of celebrity. But through all of those things, I feel like people everyone remained for the most part on board with Ozzy. Like everyone was just like, yeah, he fucking rules. And
Yeah.
he never like in the 80s, I guess maybe people started to like talk shit a little bit about him because of, I guess they didn't like the music he was making or how he looked. I don't know.
It was never not cool to like Ozzy.
Yeah. And so it's like, it's really interesting because I'm trying to think of other like big figures in rock and roll. But even if you go, even like Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney is a massively influential and incredible musician and songwriter, but his career has literally just been being Paul McCartney for 60 years.
Yeah.
Like there's no, sure there is the Beatles and then solo Paul McCartney, but there's not a different phase where all of a sudden Paul McCartney becomes a household name because of a TV show or, it's like and Paul McCartney also isn't a symbol for a certain type of music.
Yeah.
So I feel like Ozzy is that guy that has like if you look at his life, you're just like, man, that motherfucker lived and left this huge mark on so many different things and so many different people. I know this is kind of late we already did like an Ozzy tribute, but shit, man, I just now thought of it. I'm just like, because he is like somebody that everybody knows who he is. Even if people don't know his music, they know who he is.
So this invites a massive question.
Okay.
Are the Beatles Coworker music? Oh.
I mean, I don't know.
He fucking left the band!
I don't.
They're responsible for a lot.
I think they could be. Because it's not offensive music. I don't know about in 2026 though. I feel like in 2026, if you're playing the Beatles, there's more to your musical taste than just like, well, I have a Beatles album and I don't have anything else. I don't think.
Well, I have some fascinating figures to show you.
Oh, shit.
They only have one song that's above 1 billion plays.
Okay, hold on. It's the Beatles. It's above 1 billion plays. Is it Hey Jude?
No.
Holy shit. Hold on. Okay. All right. It's above.
Hey Jude is 8th.
Whoa. Okay.
Actually, Hey Jude is... the streaming figures don't stack up with the ranking, but yeah. You keep going.
Okay. If it's not Hey
There's
Jude.
a clear number 1.
If it's not Hey Jude... Can you I don't know if I'm asking you a question you may not know. Who is this main singer of the song?
I'm pretty sure it's John.
John is the main singer of the song.
Let me look it up so I don't make
Is it
myself
Come
look like-
Together?
Come Together is up there, but it's 3rd.
Yeah, I'm blanking. I mean, I know songs, but I can't imagine them being like. It's not "I Want to Hold Your Hand" or some shit, is it?
Oh no, it's George. Sorry, my bad.
Oh, is it While My Guitar Gently Weeps?
Nope.
Is it Something?
Nope. Something is 6.
George sang this song?
It said so. Hold on.
What the okay, just tell me what song it is.
Here Comes the Sun.
Oh, yes. That is a George song. Yeah, that makes sense. That's a big song, but I figured that like Hey Jude would be bigger than Here Comes the Sun.
Here's the crazy part. The lead Here Comes the Sun has on everything else is fucking crazy. Here Comes the Sun has nearly 1.8 billion plays. The next song behind it, Let It Be, has 930 million plays.
All right, now I have to look this up then. What is the very popular television show or movie that the song Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles was in? Question mark.
Dun, 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 little bit of hold music while we're doing this little thing. Dun, 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 dun. Not sure where.
So yeah, so the two, there's three television shows. Three of the most popular television shows in the history of television have used "Here Comes the Sun": Friends, The Office, and The Simpsons.
Oh, of course. Yeah, then that adds up.
So, because I know it's not just based on listening habit, because that's a beautiful song. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love that song.
But the lead it has on so many other insanely popular songs.
I have a reverse take on this, what we're talking about right now. Mm-hmm. I think much like I listen to Slayer, I'm kind of weird. I think a basic Coworker take is the Beatles aren't good.
Yeah, I'm with you.
That is a Coworker take.
And even I mean, I'll put my hand up and say I was guilty of it back in the day before I understood how music fucking worked.
I'm not saying that everyone needs to love the Beatles. I'm just saying to single them out and like be like, no, they're not any good. That just I immediately go, well, you obviously don't know what the fuck you're talking about, so we're not going to have a discussion about anything ever again.
Yeah, back before I fucking knew anything, trust me.
That's like coming to me and being like, ice cream tastes like hamburgers. And be like, no, what?
No, there is a
brain
distinction.
checked.
There is a distinction that needs to be made for their place in music history. 100%.
Yeah. All right. Have we done the last one of these?
I tell you what, I'd say we've probably got one more left before it enters the minutia.
Okay, let's do one more.
Led Zeppelin.
Oh, no.
He fucking left the band!
Led Zeppelin's another one where I think people know the name of that band. Mm-hmm. You're not going to hear any Led Zeppelin. Even though people will know Stairway to Heaven. I would actually argue that somebody could come to you and be like, play Stairway to Heaven. And then if you turn to them and you said, how does Stairway to Heaven go? They would be like, Stairway to Heaven. I mean, they would not know how it goes. Because I think it's much like Slayer has become the thing. Stairway to Heaven's become a thing where I just think it's a thing you throw out. So I don't think Led Zeppelin is one of those bands. But once again, though we've reached the 2-hour mark with this episode, I think, or we're approaching it quickly. But obviously, as usual, if you're listening on the podcast and you want to send some opinions via email, oldheadpodcast@gmail.com, I'll probably read them on the next episode. But for those who are doing it via YouTube, damn, you got some hot rods going on outside.
Yeah, it's a popular racing spot.
Nice.
We're near a pretty good driving area.
They call it the Cornwall Drift. Oh, I forgot to tell you. The other day, my wife was like, I think it's because I follow Eddie, but I keep getting recommendations for a reggae thing from Cornwall. It's like Cornwall reggae or some shit. And I'm all like, I don't think Eddie's into reggae, but maybe it's like there's a Facebook page for reggae concerts in Cornwall. Hey, is reggae really big in Cornwall? People love that shit.
I think the UK's got a pretty good reggae appreciation.
Is reggae corn worker music?
Corn worker.
That's what you call them. That's what you call them in Cornwall. They're corn workers.
Corn worker. Whole county is just one big field.
Yeah. Anyway, if you look up Cornwall reggae or reggae Cornwall or something, there's a page that she keeps getting recommended. I'm like, I don't know why you recommended that.
There's a Falmouth Reggae Festival, and it's pretty regular. Acorn Theatre does. I'm doing sponsorships at this point.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, like I say,
join us next time for our Bob Marley ranking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I famously don't really like that I'm not a reggae. I like reggae elements in music, but I've never. Bob Marley has never connected with me. It always just feels. Bob Marley is Coworker music to me.
Is reggae Coworker music?
I would say reggae, no. Bob Marley, yes. 100%.
Okay.
Because people that only own 5 CDs, they probably own a Bob Marley CD. Like that's that album Legend. That's in their collection, but they don't really listen to much other music. They have Bob Marley. They have Bob Marley. They have Nirvana Unplugged. They have Sublime, that one Sublime album. That's what they have in their collection. Not to say that any of that music is bad. I'm just saying it's an interesting thing. I wish you could literally take all of the words that we said from this and then narrow it down and be like, well, what is the takeaway of this episode about Coworker music? Is there truly like, is it necessary? Is it warranted? Is it here's a phrase I really hate. Is it a to each their own type thing? Do you know why I hate that phrase so much now? Because that's the phrase that people use when they have shitty taste and they don't like what you're listening to. That has become the go-to. I'm a shitty person, and it's always just like, I don't like that, but to each their own. And it's literally a comment that never needs to be made online. If somebody posts like a band or a song that you don't like, you don't need to say anything. And you saying to each their own is literally just telling everybody, look, I'm a piece of shit, but I wanted everyone to know that I don't like this band.
Yeah, it's kind of like when someone does something like some serious assholery with their parking, but puts their fucking hazards on as if they're not going to be there for the next like 5 hours.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I've parked like a dick, but my lights are flashing, so it's okay. It's like, no, you've blocked the entire road, and we can't leave until you move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a level of douchebaggery to things like that. Like, you know, your free speech folks who never talk about free speech unless they're actually like being completely rude and shitty to people. Like, well,
I want my get out of jail free card to be a
free
dick.
Free speech. And it's like, shut the fuck up. Free speech does not mean you can be an asshole without consequences.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you can say whatever you want. It's what happens after is entirely up to who you're talking to.
Absolutely.
You know.
But anyway, like, you know, that's what I was curious about. Like, is it, you know, this has been a good long conversation, and I see other conversations about this online. But at the end of the day, is it just a term that exists because people are acting like dicks about music they don't like? Because even I did it earlier. You know, I was naming shit that I don't like. And so it's like, should we just stop using that term altogether? Because even if it does hold some kind of meaning and actually does represent some music or some bands, are we doing music overall a disservice? Because we should be letting everyone just enjoy music however they want to enjoy it. And if somebody only wants to listen to Don't Stop Believin' and never wants to get into the rest of Journey's catalog, we should be like, cool, whatever you want to do. You know, it should be fine with us, because it's like, it doesn't affect my world at all.
I was going to say, providing what someone is doing has no negative effect on your life, why do you care?
I feel that way for a lot of things. Yeah. It's like if nobody's being a dick about something, then who cares? Like if there's a really nice person out there that really enjoys the band Skillet, I'm like, well, cool. I'm glad you found an artist that you enjoy. Don't listen to me talk shit about him, because I'm just one guy. And I am, you know, pretty right about a lot of things, and my taste is impeccable. But you know, that's neither here nor there.
We are kind of like the perfect human form, but you know, don't let that get in the way of, you know, you enjoying Skillet.
There's a reason why all of the pictures of Jesus kind of look like me. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
He's got a point.
Actually, some of them look like Eddie too. We are like two different Jesuses.
I've been called Jesus on multiple occasions.
He's like slightly more handsome Jesus, and I'm like Jesus if he got into his fat Elvis period or something like that. Like he's later life Jesus. If he had made it past 33, it would be me.
Yeah, you're just in you're in your epic phase. You know.
Anyway, what were we saying? I don't remember what we were saying. I hope this has been enjoyable for everybody out there. Let's just for shit, just to make sure we wrap everything up right. Let's just go ahead and play one of this. Ooh, what about this?
Sounds so good now.
What about this?
It's, Can you play that one and the Pearl Jam one at the same time? That worked weirdly well.
Why did that work so well?
Do it again. Hang on.
What?
He's
It
kinda
really did.
spitting over
That's a mashup. We just did a mashup, everybody.
Do it one more time. I want to join in.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4.
That works.
It doesn't work with the delay from your side. Doesn't work that well, but
mine fucking ruled. Like I'm the only person in this world to have experienced that in its true form.
yeah,
And that's beautiful, man.
that is. Now it makes me want to like take that and do remixes with other things. Now that I could do it if I had the time and the inclination to do it. Or is that the word I'm looking for? Inclination?
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't know. I that's a term that
Gumption.
I'm pretty sure I like on the most recent 40 years ago this month I used the term inclination incorrectly, but I was too lazy to do anything about it. I just went, whatever, everyone knows what I mean.
Hey, it's all good, man.
I'm not a vocabulary man. But,
that needs to be a fucking album title. You need to go out of your way to make the single worst rap album of all time and call it "I'm Not a Vocabulary Man." I'm not a rapper. I'm not a vocabulary man.
I'm not a vocabulary man. Anyway. While my dogs are like, wrap this shit up, dudes. Put comments in down below. If obviously, like, if you're just being shitty about some band, I'm a big deleter and blocker on the internet. For my own well-being.
Get the fuck out of here.
Not only for my own mental well-being, but also for other people's mental well-beings, because I want them to come.
Yeah. Cranked and ranked. We want you to come.
I had to pause right there because I had drank water, and I was like, "Why did the pause have to happen there?" That was fucking. Anyway, God damn it! I want Jesus Christ.
Them to come.
I want you to want me. I want people to be on my dick content. Please, peanut butter platypuses, aluminium squirrels, Belvedere ball setters, Christmas dogs, and sir penises. Continue the joke in the comments section.
Continue to come hard.
Anyway, the point I was trying to make, I have to make this point, otherwise my brain will not let me rest.
I bet you do.
I want people to be on my social pages or on YouTube or TikTok now. I don't want them to show up and be like, "Oh, look at all these comments from shitty people." I want them to show up and be like, "Hey, this is a nice conversation going here." So I get rid of the dickheads. And then if you're especially a dickhead, not only do I delete your comment, I fucking block you because I'm just removing you from my world. You don't get to exist in my world. You don't get to come at all. And if you do, it's
Denied.
It's just weak sauce, man. That's all it is. Anyway, okay, that's a good ending right there. You have any parting words for this episode?
Rock over Cornwall, rock on Texas. Crank the rank, podcast of champions.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a callback there.
Next time, Exodus. Am I correct?
Yes.
Cranked and ranked Exodus next time.
More like Sexodus.
Perfect timing too, because the new Exodus album just came out like last week or the week before.
Oh, nice.
So
Cool.
we get to include the brand new one where they got back together with that singer I don't like. So we'll see. That's going to give you a little window into like what my ranking's going to be like.
Get a little window there.
Anyway, so next time we'll be back with another ranking. But thank you for joining us for a CNR sidebar. These are the ones that like when people, if the people that stick around for the CNR sidebar, I feel like those are the real fans, the ones that just like the conversation.
That you're a real syrupinus if you're up in this bitch.
Yeah, you're a big fat syrupinus. Like you're just big hanging dong.
Best part of dongs is everything around it, man.
That's absolutely true. Anyway, thanks everybody for listening and for continuing to support us. We appreciate you. And as usual, I'm going to wrap things up by throwing it over to Eddie Sparxx to take us out.
We whoop Coworker's ass! We whoop Coworker's ass! Sorry. Keep it going.
Sorry about that. I interrupted what would have been really funny. And then...
No, actually, it kind of added to it. Hang on. What we need, what you need to do is you need to get... Is there a limit on how long those can be?
I don't think so. I just need to have a file to assign to the key.
Please get the Rock and Roll McDonald's instrumental. I need to be able to
find it. Just the instrumental.
Yeah, it's online. If we can sort that out.
It was a keyboard preset, wasn't it?
Yeah,
so I guess it's online somewhere. I'm gonna find it and I'll put it on there.
I'm pretty sure. Let me look it up real quick.
If you find it, send it to me, and I will make it happen.
Okay.
Sorry, folks. The show was ending, but now it's not ending anymore.
Rock and Roll McDonald's.
Coming soon.
Preset.
Just like all of the old head fans.
Hey. Oh fuck! Where is it? Tell you what, I'll have to do this off episode. Bada boom, bada bing.
Okay, cool.
Ain't no thing but a chicken wing.
Bye everyone. Eddie Sparxx.
Crank the rank, podcast of champions.
Woo!